going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show, guys. I have a lot to get into. Something's been acting really weird with my computer. This is like my third fucking time recording this podcast. So, yeah, man, it's one of those fucking days. It's just one of those days, and here we are. But hey, the show must go on, and I'm going to give you guys a podcast. This podcast is going to be Dragon Ball heavy a little bit. We're going to talk, and we're going to get into the Dragon Ball movie, where, I see this going, how dope that, how dope the preview was, all of that shit, man. Yeah. In Two Shakes of Lamb's Tail, we're going to get to that. But first, I want to touch on the games right now, the DLC we got coming for Dragon Ball Fighterz and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I'm going to start with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 real quick. If you guys do not know or haven't heard, Kefla and Super Baby Vegeta are coming to the roster. There's no release date right now. They're also going to be, doing some balancing fixes and trying to get that net code nice and tight. Good luck with that. I hope they prevail with that, because that's one of the main reasons why I stopped fucking with it. After the PvP, after the PvE, PvP just, it wasn't as fun, man, when you have to worry about, all of that bullshit that comes with it. And that net code is the main culprit. So hopefully they clean that shit up. They're putting out new stuff, man, and I kind of see why they're doing it. They're probably just trying to, extend it and get people to play it so that they can still continue to test the net code and, get some things in order before they eventually release Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. But that's just my take on it. I could be wrong, but, could be right. But yeah, Kefla, Super, Baby Vegeta on their way. Has to be soon, and I'm guessing within the next 8 weeks or so. So be looking out for that, guys. I definitely might be jumping back on, because I haven't even still played with Jiren yet. So it might be time to jump back in and just get a little work in out here in these Dragon Ball Xenoverse streets. The next game I want to brush on real quick is the DLC for Dragon Ball Fighterz. Now, this DLC is going to be kind of controversial, and I say that because we have base form Vegeta and base form Goku. A lot of people feel that these slots are wasted and should be going to other characters, other diverse characters that do deserve, in a lot of our opinions, a place in this game. And of course, when you're dealing with poster boys like Vegeta and Goku, you're gonna get different variations, and they're gonna put them in the game. And that's almost like any major series that we come to see. You could see the same thing happening for a Naruto game. You got all these different Naruto versions. You got Sage Mode. You got all of this shit going on. And it's part of it. Everybody wants that version of their favorite, and even so, you're not gonna get every version in this game. That's just crazy. But who knows? They might fuck around and try that shit. But I wouldn't recommend that, because right now, the appeal for Goku is a little bit better and stronger than the base form Vegeta, in my opinion, because you got the Spirit Bomb, and that has already been confirmed. And then you potentially have his Kaioken, however you want to pronounce it. You have that. So I see a lot of people having fun with that Goku. I definitely do. And that's a lot of people's favorite Goku, believe it or not, that base form. Vegeta, not so much, for the simple fact that, the Galagun, okay, but I'm wondering what else they're going to give to him. I'm not sure. We'll see. And hopefully this is the last version of these two guys that we get. I'm a Vegeta fan. He's one of my favorite characters, but goddamn, man. There's other characters that deserve a spot, in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. One of those characters that I want to see in the game is, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, Master Roshi. He needs to be in this fucking game. It needs to happen. It needs to become a reality, in my opinion. He is definitely one of the founding fathers of the Z team, and he deserves to be in this game. If you have Yamcha in here, you need to have Master Roshi in here. Bottom line, period. Also, another character that I would love to see in this game, and I hope he will be, and I think he will be on the tail end of it, is going to be Jiren. Yes, I said it, Jiren the Gray. That is my favorite character out of Dragon Ball Super, and I hope we see more of him going down the line. I'll brush on that a little bit later, but he's one definitely that I would love to see in this game. I think they can do some good things with him. He is definitely an OP motherfucker. But he is the shit, man. I love this dude's design. All of that. I would just love to know more about this character, man. One thing that Dragon Ball I wish would do a little bit more is, embellish their characters a little bit more, man. Give us a little bit more meat and potatoes about, some of these guys. I know we got a brief backstory on him, but in my opinion, that just wasn't enough. You know what I mean? But I mean, that is Dragon Ball though. I mean, if you guys watch anything else, and I didn't realize that until I started watching another, prominent series, which was Naruto, which, Naruto, as far as character development and layers to the characters, I mean, they're decked the fuck out. They are like at 110%. Dragon Ball, not even close, in my opinion. Like, it's not. It's it's a Saiyan heavy, kind of thing. And that's just what it is, love it or hate it. And, that's why, there's some things that Dragon Ball just has that, that makes me love it. And it's my first anime that I grew up on, and it's got me, into everything else. And it basically, popped my cherry, and it'll always be number one to me because of that. And there are some dope characters, and a lot of things that they do are awesome. So, it is what it is. But Jiren must make the cut. Master Roshi, in my opinion, must make the cut. I would love to see like Yajirobe on there, but I'm sure he probably won't. Another character I'm sure won't make it, but I would like to see on there is Mercenary Tao. Tao Pai Pai, however you want to pronounce it. One of my favorite characters out of the Dragon Ball series. The only man that could wear pink with swag, and the ponytail to kill you on the back, and then the cyborg version. I mean, you can't hate that man. And who else do you know that travels by tree trunk? All right. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you need to check out Mercenary Tao. Google him, and just check him out in Dragon Ball, man. Watch Dragon Ball if you have not seen it. It's definitely the shit. And, I think the development of the characters were better in Dragon Ball than they were in, Dragon Ball Z, in my opinion. That's just me. But, yeah, man, that's pretty much my talk or take on Dragon Ball Fighterz the DLC. We got the base forms coming out. Hopefully this is it, and they will definitely give us some other characters. Another character real quick I'll brush on is Pikkon. Okay, Pikkon is definitely a favorite among a lot of people, man. And I felt they could definitely do some dope things with Pikkon in this game as a fighter. So I'm just gonna leave that on the table, and I'm going to walk away now. But that is the Dragon Ball gaming talk. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of it all. And let's talk about Dragon Ball Super Broly, the movie. All right. Which is coming out in January for the US. It's coming out in December in Japan, which is going to fucking suck because you're going to have people watching it somehow, in Japanese, but then you're gonna hopefully we get some text or something behind it. I don't know, but it's coming to the theaters. It's coming to the theaters in the U.S., and that's one thing I'm very, very psyched about. It's coming to the theaters, and I hope that they soon after that we get the Blu-ray and everything. I'll definitely be adding that to the library, no doubt, no question, because this one just looks to be so epic. And when I say that, I know I use that word a lot, amazing, epic, whatever, tantalizing, whatever, but I truly believe that the animation and the work that went into this movie is going to be, far and beyond their best work. In my opinion, they did some excellent work in Resurrection of F as far as animation and just the beauty of the movie. It was just, full-fledged, full-length film. It wasn't one of those 45-minute movies that, we had out of the Z Saga and Dragon Ball. It was an actual, it's a movie. And this is going to be the same. But I don't know, it's something about the animation and the art style, man, that I didn't think I was going to like at first. But now that I look at it, and see it, it looks beautiful. It pops. Everything is saturated. All the colors are very, very vibrant, and the animation is so fluid. Vegeta, all the characters looked fucking crisp, and they looked so good, man. And I hope that whoever's working on the animation on this we're gonna have that consistency over the whole film. And I think we will, because in film, it's a little bit easier because it's a lot shorter. You're not doing episodes and episodes and episodes. They're taking everything and they're putting it all into, that hour and a half or that hour and 40 minutes. And they're making it, they're making it gloss. They're making it shine. So I'm very, very anxious to see how that's going to go. I know it's going to be the dopest movie yet. I have complete faith in this movie. I will be seeing it in theaters, and I will be buying it and showing the support for this one right here, man. And what really took me by surprise is the fact that, Broly is in this movie, and it's going to be something about Broly, but it's also going to be about, I guess, an origin story, if you will, about some of the first Saiyans ever. And I'm trying to see how they're going to tie that in. Another thing is that Toriyama is basically redesigning Broly for this movie. He hasn't fucked with Broly in years and years and years, and now he's back. He's come full circle. And if we know anything about Toriyama, and if you guys don't know this, Toriyama is very, very synonymous for forgetting characters, and just he has so many in the world, and he just forgetting characters and just not remembering them. Just that's the best I can kind of put it. And Broly is a character he wanted to slightly redesign. He's got a scar now on his face. Now what I don't know is his temperament. Like, we all know he's super strong and super violent, but the Broly that we all know is a mindless hunk of meat running around, just killing. This Broly, I'm kind of curious to see, is that going to be the same recipe, or is he going to, is there going to be more conversation? Is there going to be more, more of a dialogue between them? And this is a movie, so you would think, a full-fledged movie too, so you would think that it would be. And I'm anxious to see how they're going to put that shit together. I really am. Hopefully this Broly will come off better. If it is, then I might become a Broly fan. If that's the case. He looks slightly different as well. I'm liking the direction they're taking with that, and hopefully they deliver 360. They complete it all. And that's what I'm hoping. They also got Piccolo's in this movie. I don't know what his part is going to be, but I'm anxious to see how he's grown as a fighter. One of my other favorite characters in Dragon Ball history is Frieza. He's in this, and he's fighting as well against Broly. You have Vegeta versus Broly, you have Frieza versus Broly, and then you have, of course, the poster boy Goku versus Broly. Now that's what brings the discussion to a boil, if you ask me, because you got Frieza in here. Now, I've talked about this before on previous podcasts about especially when the end of Dragon Ball Super came to be, and it was Frieza teaming up with Goku to take out Jiren, and it got me thinking, like, yo, where is Frieza going now? Is he headed in that direction that Vegeta was headed in, in the Frieza saga? Is he going to, eventually become that next link to the chain, that next member of, the Z team? Is that the direction they're leading in? Because it kind of seems that way, and I'm not opposed to it. I never thought I'd see this day. And if you know Frieza, you know the fuck I'm talking about. But if it happens, hey, I'm just because I'm biased towards him and I would like to see more of Frieza. A lot of people are tired of looking at Frieza, man, and I've seen it and I've heard it, and that's your prerogative and that's cool. But I don't mind. I would actually like him on the squad. He would definitely be a asset to the squad, an asset to the team. He's another character who wants to one day be stronger than Goku, and is always trying to find a way to surpass him, which will make everybody else that much stronger and will make him better too. Like I said, this will be a Frieza who is actually serious about fighting, serious about training, and that combination with him, who's already gifted and talented and powerful off top, will make him a definite candidate for like one of the strongest fighters out here in these streets. And I'm anxious to see that. And I want to see him fight Broly. I want to see Frieza go up against Broly. I want to see what, that's going to be dope for me. And of course, Vegeta, fighting him again or whatever. I'm a Vegeta guy too. So, yeah. And then it brings the question, this is canon, so it brings the question, where does this go moving forward? Where's Toriyama and them thinking, and Toy and those guys thinking, going forward? So what's their next play going to be? In other words, are they going to take the same approach they took with the last movie and kind of basically span it out and make a lot of filler episodes and kind of stretch out this arc and turn it into an actual arc when Dragon Ball Super returns? Or are they going to just say, okay, the movie's here, this is what it is, and kind of do a Naruto type of thing where, this is the story and we're going to, the next arc takes place right after this, you know what I mean? So they can approach it a number of different ways. I'm wondering how that's going to happen, what that's going to be. Who knows? But I'm anxious to find out. Super's coming back after this, so we should be getting some Super. Like I said, in early 2019, we should be getting some news on it. But this movie is going to tell us a lot, I think, moving forward. Another character I would love to see is Jiren. I would see some more. I would love to see him come back and be a reoccurring character, because they've got the same formula kind of going with Jiren as they do, with they had with Vegeta and they have now with Frieza. But the difference is Jiren is actually a guy who fights for good. He's not necessarily a villain, you know what I mean? So he could be that guy, and they could be that squad that, hey, look, when shit really gets real out here in these streets, we also got these troopers, to come out and hold us down. And, we all know Jiren is OP as fuck. What you don't want is a Jiren who is more determined more than ever to, want to take out Goku. But it took everybody to take Jiren out. Let's keep that shit real. Jiren still one-on-one is probably the creme de la creme. Y'all not doing that. I kind of like how they left that at the end of Super. So, yeah, man, I would love to, them to go in more into depth into Jiren. And I would love for him to have his own series. Like the Troopers, they had their own series. That would be dope. I think that would be super tight. Who knows? Toriyama has so much power right now. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. But that's my take on the movie right now. I mean, we didn't get to see much, but we got to see that it's going to be pretty fucking intense. We know that it's the animation is top notch. The art direction is top notch, man. I have not seen an episode this fucking crisp since episode 122, which is my favorite Dragon Ball Super episode. And then probably a couple at the end, but animation style and production wise, 122 is fucking top notch. And that's what this fucking looks like. This looks like they went in and, man, they did not hold anything back. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear from you. You can hit your boy at Studio MacGyver on Twitter. You can hit your boy at Studio MacGyver on Facebook. And you can hit me on Instagram at Studio MacGyver79. And we can talk about this shit however and whenever you want. So, yeah, with that being said, that is going to do it for the Dragon Ball movie talk, man. I'm excited about this shit, guys. I'm sure you are as well. I've been itching to talk about some more Dragon Ball stuff, man, but there just wasn't really anything in the air to talk about. And I kind of can't wait to get back to the series. When this movie comes out, there'll be plenty to talk about. And then, like I said, when the series starts up again, the can is open, and we're going to dive into all of this shit. And, I might even just, go back into the archives, man, and pull up some topics, of Dragon Ball just in general, and just talk about some things character wise, plot holes and things of that nature, moving forward. But yeah, man, that's the Dragon Ball right there, guys. I hope you guys liked it. Be looking out for the movie. If you have not seen the preview, please check that shit out. It's only a minute and a half, and any true Dragon Ball fan probably have already seen it. If you didn't know that one was out, then, hey, I guess I can forgive you for that. But check it out, man. When you listen to this, it's out there and it's real and it's good. Last couple of things I want to talk about real quick are going to be a couple of games that kind of surprised me, and one of them being Grand Blue Fantasy. I've talked about this game before. I've actually got a video out somewhere on my channel about this game. It is, I thought it was a Japanese only release, and it's an open world RPG. It's a live action RPG, so it's real time, and the graphics are tremendous. They look so good. this is like when I play RPGs, like this is an RPG I would just I could sink my teeth into it, man. This game is definitely highly anticipated for me. We probably won't see it until sometime in 2019, but it's called Grand Blue Fantasy, and it is coming to the U.S. Got word of that the other day, and I was so happy to hear that, because when I first did the video, which was months back, we did not know if it was coming to the States, but now we have confirmation that it is coming to the States, and this is a PS4 exclusive. So, sorry for everybody else. And one thing I love about Japan, man, they always do these JRPGs, man. They don't give a fuck when they're pumping these out, and I can't wait to play this one. This is definitely up there with Biomutant for me. That surprise game that surprised me. But yeah, guys, check out the footage, man. Grand Blue Fantasy. There's a lot of gameplay out there on it right now. You guys can check out. It's a dope game. It looks to be very, very promising. It's definitely something I'm going to be having in the library for sure. So next, and this is going to be the last thing that I'm going to touch on real quick, man, is a game that, I thought was just dead. I honestly thought it was dead. It was a game I was curious about, leading up to it. It was a game that was super, super, super hyped. And then when the game came out, man, it pissed everybody off. It was just, oh my God, it was the joke. It's technically still a joke in the gaming community, man. And I'm talking about No Man's Sky. Yes, No Man's Sky, guys. And I have to keep it real. I have to be honest about this. From what I've seen recently, No Man's Sky has done a complete 180. It does not look anything like the game that it did when it first came out, which it looked to me like a $20 game, $30 game at best. I thought that's what it was going to be. It ended up being full price, and it was not worth the admission. But all the work that they've been putting into this game now, I feel that they should have came with this before. And I think what happened was they got overhyped with all the things that they knew they were working on and they knew were coming. And he couldn't keep his mouth shut. And what ended up happening was it turned around and bit him in the ass. And he paid for it. Death threats. People are just idiots out here in these streets. They send you death threats. All kind of shit was going on. He's a fucking walking meme. All of this stuff was going on, man. And, they made a mistake, and, they corrected it. And they claim that this game is going to be around for quite some time. They're going to be weekly updates, all kind of shit going on with this game. It's going to make me want to pick it up. I'm going to want to play this now. I think I'm going to pick up No Man's Sky now, because the number of things that are in this game now is fucking ridiculous now. This is a game that I wanted, and I thought was coming out when it did. And I had one of my best friends who bought the game. He was so hyped for the game, and, he defended it to the end, but in his heart, I knew he was upset. And, he can only do so much in the game. And, but now I see him definitely picking this back up, because I don't think he knows about this. He's not into the gaming news a lot. So, he's real late when it comes to that shit. So he probably is using No Man's Sky for a fucking beer coaster right now. Who knows? But when he hears this news, he'll probably want to dust that off and get back into it. I know I want to play it now. There's so many things you can do now. It was a first person game, but now it's third or first. So now you got third, and I'm a big stickler for third person. I love third person games. I do. And we have third person now. So now you can actually, deck out your character. You can make them look how you want, and you don't even have to be human. You can be alien race, all this stuff, man. What else? There's so many things. You can build your bases anywhere now. So you can build them underwater. I've seen underwater bases. I'm not bullshitting. Underwater bases. So, the sky is the fucking limit. You know what I mean? When I saw the underground base, I was like, yo, I would love to do something like a miniature hub underground, kind of like out of, BioShock. And basically you have the entrance barely sticking up out of the water, which would be like the door or, the top of a well or something. And then you would land there, and then you would descend down underground. I don't know what am I trying to say here? It's the potential is limitless now. your ships. Now you can exchange things through your team with your teammates. You can play. It's multiplayer now, so you can play with people. They can join your universe, and you can do missions together. You can do things like that. There's all kind of different games or what am I calling it? Modes now that you can fucking play. I'm not familiar with the weaponry and all that, but I'm gonna get ready to dive into some No Man's Sky stuff here. But I've saw a few videos, enough to basically, I can basically boast about picking it up now, and I can, bring it to you guys' attention and whatnot. So that is what's going on with us now with the No Man's Sky thing. It's real, and I want to fucking play it now. I definitely want to play it now. Try to get some love in before Spider-Man drops, and then try to lose myself in that. $20 right now. I think you can buy at GameStop. I want to say online you can get it, but for some reason it's full price right now on PlayStation Store. So I don't know how that is. I don't know about Xbox or anything, but yeah, definitely worth a gander. Again, if you've played it before, it's definitely worth going back to it. If you haven't played it now, it's a perfect opportunity for people to pick it up and play it now, man. You can get it for the low discount price, and you can get all the bells and whistles that come with it, with all the updates and shit. I mean, perfect timing. And that's, sometimes it pays so well to wait for games. It does. If you wait, sometimes you'll be rewarded in the end. And, these are the things that I live for. That's just me on the outside looking in, though. And now that there's so many games out here in these gaming streets, you pretty much can do that. I mean, when the systems first come out, of course, there's not a lot to select from. So you're waiting on that next big AAA game to come out. And, but now that you turn around, I mean, there's so many games that I want to play that I haven't even had a chance to play yet. But when I do decide to make that move, I'm going to get them all for the low. I mean, I might pay $10, $15 for some of these fucking games. I mean, and that's the beauty of it all. You don't have time to play them all right now. So when you do eventually make it around, then you get blessed like stuff like this. And then over time you get updates, and you get, new additions and all of that stuff, and you get a discounted price. So now I can safely say No Man's Sky is worth picking up and playing now. You get the best of both worlds. You get the price drop, and you get all the DLC and all the updates and everything with it. So I just thought I'd add that. It's so much more to this game that I'm, leaving out right now. But the basis is, just check it out, man. Check it out if you haven't played it, or if you have now, hey, go back in there and load that baby back up, man. With that being said, man, that's going to do it for the show. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to apologize for the hiatus of last week. And, it wasn't enough to, in my opinion, to, muster up a podcast. And I want to do it right for you guys. I want you guys to have some content to listen to. I don't want to do a 10-minute, type of thing, but I definitely do have some things coming in the works I want to give you guys a heads up on. I have some friends that will be joining me, actually working out the kinks in that right now. We're going to be, we're going to have kind of like a panel type of thing. I'm going to start bringing some other guys in, fans of anime, fans of gaming, and we're going to talk about, what I talk about every week on this fucking show. And we're going to get into that. Also, this show is brought to you by Beautiful Nerds, guys. If you guys do not know, Beautiful Nerds is a website you can go to, and you can definitely check out, everything related to gaming, everything related to anime. That is Beautiful Nerds, nerds spelled NURDZ. That's beautifulnerds.com. They have hoodies, they have t-shirts, they have tank tops, there's backpacks, there's all kinds of things that you guys can fuck with that are related to gaming and related to anime, guys. So definitely check out Beautiful Nerds and holler at your boy. Anything else? Let me see. Did I leave anything else? No, I think that's it, man. Like I said, be looking forward to some episodes where we actually have panels. I'll actually have guests. That's coming soon, within a month. I'll say, a few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks from now, we should make that happen. So yeah, man, it might even be sooner. Who knows? You're going to find out, though. We're going to get to it. But I just want to thank you guys once more for listening, for, just sticking with your boy, man, sticking with the kid from day one, especially those guys and new listeners. Hey, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. If you never listen to me again, hey, it's cool. Glad you stopped by. And I'm going to get my ass up out of here now. With that being said, you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.